as much as they can. Everything is on the line in this final series of what has been an electric quarterfinal Saturday.
All the accusations we get over here in EU of Saturday being dull. Nothing of the sort over here. 4-3
To the world as best as they can. As we go through the series and towards the end, we will confirm who is doing what, because there's quite a few permutations. Depends then on how Oxygen then do at the major if they make it. But a long shot from Atto isn't going to want to see Oxygen going to that major as he sinks one with a minute 45 remaining.
Yeah, that one won't change the permutations, but it will just give a little bit more calmness to Karmine Corp, getting the first goal. Knows way too well what exactly he was attempting.
80 seconds remaining and a very strong 50 from Oski in that back corner. Sends it back towards Archie. Central Joyo's there. Has so much space. An unmarked man snipes top bins.
It's just a clean as you like shot there from Joyo. Vatira and Rise getting each other's way somewhat. Atta was going over boost pads to take him into the center of the goal.
Finding his way in. Joyo was backwards on that save as well. And he still turned around with enough power. But the final 10. We'd see a powerful shot from one of these teams. Archie, backboard. Who's going to be there to receive? Oski down low, reset, no second touch. Joyo playing it safe. I don't mind it with Vatira going up high. Low boost to the floor. Overtime. A safety play from Oxygen secures them.
Everything at stake here for both teams as Archie gets it towards Oski. Oski tries to get the read and does. How's his teammates in? He gets it back towards Joe, who gets over the top of Vatira, but not quite the finish they wanted.
And dive in leaves Rise trying to just claw his way back into the opposite half. Vatira moves 1-2, gets the bump. Oski's there. Atto somehow hits the crossbar from a foot away. Does not matter. Wants to hear it clang with the winner.
Karmine Corp in their bid for the World Championships take first blood against Oxygen Esports. They had to do it through
entire event, in which case, we get a tiebreaker. If not, then it's just going to be Oxygen and Gentlemates going through. The biggest question mark is all about those world's spots. That then depends on how well KC end up doing in this event, which we'll tell you a lot more about tomorrow. But what it does mean is it gets a lot harder for Oxygen to... He is certainly feeling confident today.
Here comes Joyo, though. Gets it almost cleanly around Atto. Dangerous times for Karmine Corp. This game's starting to bleed down to its dying end. We have a goal here. It could be big. There was a bump and there was a finish.
There was also a pretty devilish mistouch from Vatira in the back. Sends it to the corner, but can't turn around fast enough. Even if Vatira is able to get there for the block, there was still... for two of them, when previously, I think a couple of weekends ago, we had that Saturday and the Sunday where we didn't even get a Game 7. It is so much closer when it comes down to the end of the season. Vatira wants to remove Oski just to get rid of some of those pests.
He steals the boost, he nips in ahead of the pass, then he gets the fake. It allows in Joyo in the end via a touch from Oski, does it? No, Joyo was all the way back. I assumed he'd be coming onto that, such as the pace that Oxygen play at. Instead, though, he has to do and the extra gap was played to perfection.
Oh my gosh, the battling Belgium besieges the Oxygen goal. The reset over the top with a second touch and a bump for...
Split is gonna be possible, Stumpy. You feel that if they are to make Worlds, they have to win this series. It's just the inkling that I'm getting that Oxygen are going to be a top 8 LAN team, at least in London. You have to keep them away, and so far Karmine Corp are doing their job.
I mean, keeping that faith and that momentum just is going to be so important, especially into gear and make sure that they win this one out for their own hopes towards that World Championship.
And it's Karmine Corp that have started this game better again until Archie nips in out of nothing and shoots 1 shot, 1 goal.
Took a little while, but Oxygen are back in the scoring. Joyo sends it across, and Atto cannot outspeed Archie.
There you go. Easy as you like. Oxygen, they defend for a bit. They keep Karmine Corp away. And suddenly they get an easy goal. That is the game plan to a T. Now, can Oxygen attack from the front? You can't see them trying to defend here. That's just not the way they play. It's not in their DNA. But Karmine Corp, they're not going to fear anything. It's so simple from Vatira.
Vatira is vile. And going to the ceiling, just the disgusting play of faking it out completely. Then as he lands, the ball on his hood, tipping it.
Seeded goals from it in this very event, in this very match. But they can only continue pushing forwards. Oski clears it long. Joyo is behind him again. Oski does some maneuvering to get it towards Archie. And I'll tell you what a finish that is.
Oh, that's a little bit neat, isn't it? Perfectly slotted, top corner. Oski faking it out too. Actually goes for the ceiling. Reminiscent of Squishy going for that shot all those many years.
Make worlds. They'll have to finish, I think, at least top 2 if Karmine Corp win this one, or maybe top 4, but very, very deep into the tournament if KC win here.
If Karmine Corp win this individual series, but they don't win the event, then we're going to need to see Oxygen. They need to get awkward little team passing play that they did not want coming out from Oxygen. Left wall now sees Joyo only sent it as far as Vatira, who has been a pre-jumping menace.
Yeah, you gotta be against Oxygen, you gotta be fast enough, but it worked there. Look at this first touch from Vatira, and just take us through it from there.
Going with that reset over the top of Oski, and then shies away from the ball because Atto is suddenly in. Alley-oops it, backboard bound. And technically going towards him. He completely ignores it. He does not care about it. He goes for a bump, but doesn't get the bump, and so instead then goes for the boost and sets up all of this extended play just from Rise going away from the ball, but with a complete outplay in favor of Oxygen. It's a couple of sending the player to it, and then finally they get their goal.
Oxygen fight for their lives, and then they thrive. They had to make some...
Needs to go towards that ball, does so as well. That was a very sketchy moment because that demo, as you were saying earlier, Cole, opened them up completely. And Atto to Vatira rises up to shoot, and another bump. Aggression, wrestling players out of the orange net.
We won't see it in this replay, but all of this started about 30 seconds ago when Oxygen had the ball on KC's half. They went for an aerial.
And Oxygen are battling for that Game 7, the third of the day, and Karmine Corp would love to end it here. Worlds and the Major on the line for these teams respectively.
It's France versus the UK as well, as Joyo gets the middle boost as well. That may just calm down Oxygen as long as Oski gets this clearance. He does, but Rise was already there, and Atto steals another one. Suddenly the boost is back in KC's hands. Atto gets
What?
Atto has the brilliance to maybe send KC to Worlds.
Atto and his angles are sublime. What a touch from the corner, inverts the play entirely.
Not quite able to from Archie's shot, and Rise is coming in. Rise gets it wide.
It was a neat pass back, but unfortunately for them, just did not lead to much. Joyo central on target, above. Vatira's tripped up by Archie. 2-2, 20 seconds left.
Oh man, Rise's clearance wasn't good enough. Atto wasn't quick enough. Joyo, you think his shot's not powerful enough, but when Vatira...
Earlier on, can he secure himself another? Final 10, Joyo backboard. Overtime is looming, gets bumped out of the way. Oski clips it onward. Anything away from that orange half is good for Oxygen right now, because we know how good Rise and Vatira are at 0.
Yeah, Rise has 100 boost, but surely no angle. He's got no way to break through here. He gets so close. 5 more seconds. Maybe Karmine Corp would have had that. Instead, it's OT.
Lovely kickoff. Oski now with a little bit of boost, flicks it round, but Vatira waits very patiently at the back. We've seen players trend up from those positions. You don't want to do it.
To be just in that worst position as far as the pass went. Oski, he gets that one towards 2 KC players who both have full boost. It's the real chance. Atto could get it now. The Rise could. It's safe enough. Vatira! Here comes Vatira and KC. More than keep their world's hopes alive.
That has become infinitely harder for Oxygen now to make Worlds. Their performance needs...